Hey, what's going on YouTube? Don't pay attention to the noise in the background. Got a little bit of commotion going on, but I'm going to see if I can get this video out before the Chargers and Chiefs game. And I am gearing more towards the Chargers. Herbert is actually spreading the ball around pretty good. Same thing like with Patrick. Wow, I'm drawing a blank. Patrick Mahomes, that's right. Patrick Mahomes, same thing what Patrick Mahomes did last game. The only thing about last game with Patrick Mahomes is I don't think Arizona got that much pressure on him. Now, this is going to be a different scenario with Khalil Mack and Bosa on this line getting to him and kind of, getting him out the pocket a little bit, scaring him a little bit, and making those inaccurate throws. I think the Chargers can do it. I know they're without Keenan Allen tonight, but again, if they're spreading the ball around, they should be okay. Also, I mean, you're getting 3.5 from a team that's actually pretty good. So that's over the key number. I'm going to go with the 3.5 with the Chargers. I have the Chargers above Kansas City Chiefs in my power rankings. Also, let's just talk about the look-ahead games that we have coming up. The Cleveland Browns have a look-ahead game. Carolina and New York, they face each other. They both have look-ahead games. I believe Carolina is the better team. So I'm gearing more towards Carolina. I'll be talking about that here in a second. Washington and Detroit. Pittsburgh, New Orleans, Miami has a look-ahead. LA Rams, Dallas Cowboys, Arizona, Buffalo, Minnesota, and Philadelphia all have look-ahead games. So let's get into this next game. Washington and Detroit. Both these teams have look-ahead games. Detroit is at home. Washington's on the road. But the more experienced quarterback, I mean, I'm gonna put my faith in Goff. The Detroit Lions did not do that bad last year, last game, and I'm actually interested in what the Detroit Lions might do. This might boil down within 3 points. But if you're going to choose Washington, definitely get them past that key number of 3.5. Get them at that number of 3.5. If you're going to choose Detroit, same thing. See if you can tease this down. Try to get some positive numbers out of it. And I do like the over in this game if it's teased down. Actually, if you look over here, I do have a couple of games that are a few parlays that I like. See, now you have the Washington Commanders. You got that plus 3.5 plus over 40.5 points. I think this might be a good bet. Also, going down to the next game, you have the Jets and the Cleveland Browns. This is very interesting because Cleveland is without their quarterback. They actually have Jacoby Brissett in there, and they may pay attention to their look-ahead game they have next week. So this is actually a good spot for that 6.5 for the New York Jets. New York Jets is looking for the first win. The Browns got their first win from the Carolina Panthers. So the Jets may be a good option this week as far as a 6.5. Pretty good team to do a round robin to see if you can get a bet and see if Cleveland is more focused on that game ahead, especially without having Deshaun Watson available. We have the Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Saints had Tom Brady's number last year. They had his number last year. I know they struggled last game, but with the offensive line issues as far as Tampa Bay, I know, Tom Brady, he did have a upgrade as far as wide receiver and Julio Jones. That is something to take note of, but also that offensive line is hurt, and he did struggle last game against who did he play last game? I'm drawing a blank, but he played Dallas, the Dallas Cowboys. That's who he played. So he did struggle a little bit. He didn't put up that many points, but it wasn't a bad outing. And they play at the Saints, and they're playing in the Dome. So I'm looking more towards the over in this one. And again, the Saints did have his number. I have to go with the Saints, but I'm going to get them at trying to get them past that key number, get away from this 2.5, going to the alternate point spreads, in my opinion. I do like the over. But looking at that Denver game in Seattle, teams or the crowd noise, should I say, is actually a huge difference this year. So many delay of game penalties on Denver, and that made me think, well, that's more points off the board because they're not getting going fast enough. So again, I might be gearing this season, if I see games like really high totals, maybe to the under, maybe, depending on what it's actually looking like. And the way these two teams been playing the last two games, the Saints did have Tom Brady's number, so I'm gonna go with the Saints. Carolina Panthers and the New York Giants. Like I said earlier, Carolina Panthers, I believe they have a look-ahead game. They do. Them and the Giants both have look-ahead games. I think Panthers is the better team. I'm going to take the 1.5 and run with it. I know Saquon Barkley is actually, he actually came back alive that last game. With Christian McCaffrey against this, I mean, the defense for the Giants, the run defense, the defensive line, should I say, is probably not bad, but I do like Christian McCaffrey in this position. And I do like Baker Mayfield against the New York Giants versus Daniel Jones. So, and if you talk about wide receivers, I think the Carolina Panthers have the better wide receivers. So I'm going to go with the Panthers on that. Again, if you want to do alternate spread, by all means. But if you don't, you can just do the money line right there. That should be better money, better odds. I do think Panthers will come out with that one. Next game, we have the Steelers and we have the Patriots. Now, this is kind of odd because for me, the Steelers have a look-ahead game. Are they really worried about the Patriots in this position? They're playing at the Steelers at home, and they are above the number I had for them for the season, that 0.5. Excuse me, but they did have, or should I say, the 0.5 I did have for them, but they did have a tremendous game last game. That was a really big win for them. And that look-ahead game, I think Mike Tomlin may be more focused on the divisional opponents. If they could beat Cincinnati Bengals one more time and they can beat Cleveland, I think they have Cleveland's number. I think they should be good. So with that being said, I may even do a, let's see, I mean, you can even go in here, maybe look at a game parlay. I do like the under. Let's see what they have in here. Number 6 is usually a good one for me for some reason. I always find some good numbers over there. But going down here, let's check out number 6, see what they have. You have New England with, plus 0.5 and over 32.5 points. It's not really what I'm looking for. Trying to get it past that key number. But you guys get the gist. I'm not going to sit here all day, looking at these one by one. It makes it a long video. But with that being said, I do like the Patriots, and like as you can see, 48.5. No, I'm definitely like the under. So if you like the Patriots winning or the Pittsburgh Steelers winning, that's up to you. I'm not going to bet on this game. Again, Steelers is my favorite team. I don't want to be biased. And that's all I have for that game. So going back into it, I'm not making a bet, but you definitely want to look at the unders if you're going to do something like that. 45, as you can see, let me go back up to the Pittsburgh Steelers. 45, you can do an alternate point spread, maybe under 45.5. That may be a good number, maybe. Also, you have the Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm going to take the Colts. I'm going to get them down at that 2.5, or just do the money line real fast. Go in the parlay, see if you could find something. As far as under and over, see, that's the thing. I like a 1-13 with this game, in my opinion. 1-13 should be a good one for the Colts. We have the Miami Dolphins and the Baltimore Ravens. I'm going to go with the Ravens on this one. Miami has a look-ahead game, and I believe that I think Miami may be a little more focused on that look-ahead game. You have Baltimore. Why even, risk it? you have a look-ahead game next week. But Baltimore, I like to get them past their key number, and Baltimore does have some good defense, so I think they may have their work cut out for them. We have the Atlanta Falcons and the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams do have a look-ahead game. This is going to be an interesting one. So I'm maybe to the under, but they did lose their last game. They're looking for their first win. I do like their odds of winning this game, but are they going to cover that 10.5? Atlanta versus the Saints. I mean, first game of the season. Maybe I'm a little too high looking at what the Atlanta Falcons did last week. I think the Rams won't have a problem in this. I'm going to go, you know what? Even though they have a look-ahead game, I think that last game kind of gave them a bad taste in their mouth, and they're going to come out and prove a point. So I like the 10.5, negative 10.5. Again, if I can get this under 8.5, that would be ideal. Maybe tease this down if you want to, but I do like the Rams, and I'm going to go ahead with the 10.5 with that one. Now, that's just my opinion. You already see my bets for the week. This is all my opinion. The Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. I'm going to go with the Seahawks. 8.5 is good value. Good value for the Seahawks. Geno Smith hasn't been bad. He hasn't been that bad this year. So that's actually a good number. And he hasn't been bad last year. I think that is the key note to take here as well. Like, Geno Smith has been actually pretty good playing for Seattle. They did lose Jamal Adams, just to keep that in mind. Also, I don't think they have a look-ahead game. I don't believe none of these teams do. Cincinnati Bengals and the Dallas Cowboys. You have to go with Bengals. I mean, even if you want to tease that down, I don't see why not. Obviously, the Bengals, again, and I'm going to go with the under in this 42.5. If you can find a parlay that pumps this up a little more and pumps this down a little more, but I don't see how Dallas is going to compete without Dak. I mean, they do have a good defense. They do have a good running game. And the Cincinnati Bengals did lose that last game, so I'm sure they're looking for their first win. And I do like how the Cincinnati Bengals played against the Steelers, throwing all them picks, because they were extremely poised. Even though they didn't pull that game out, they were right there. They could have won that game. Just some things happened. It wasn't their day. But I do like that. Again, if you want to tease it or find a parlay with better numbers for this, I don't blame you. And I do like the under 42.5 for that. Now we have the Houston Texans and the Denver Broncos. I'm gonna sit this one out. I'm not gonna give an opinion. I'm gonna watch this game, the Houston Texans, and see what they do this game. And if this game is close, I'm gonna guarantee I'm gonna ride the Houston Texans on the points for the whole season. 9.5 look like good value. But maybe that just was a fluke game for Denver because Seattle already knows what Denver is about, know what Russell Wilson is about, and probably have inside information on how to stop him. So I'm going to sit this one out. We have the Arizona Cardinals and we have the Las Vegas Raiders. Also, Dallas Cowboys have a look-ahead game, just so you guys know. Arizona Cardinals and the Las Vegas Raiders. Let me see. Anybody has a look-ahead game in here? I don't believe so. I'm looking at my notes here. Yeah, I don't believe so. Nope, no look-ahead game. I do like the... Yeah, you got the plus 5.5. You know what? I'm going to go with Vegas Raiders. I'm going to go with the Raiders on this. And they're playing inside. I do like the over in this game as well. Over Raiders. If you want to find a parlay or a teaser, 1 through 13, I'm not sure. I mean, D. Hopkins is a huge impact player, and he's out for the Arizona Cardinals. Until the Cardinals show me that they can compete, it's going to be an issue. If J.J. Watt is in there, that might change. That might change my opinion. So we have to wait for the game time decision. Until then, I do like the money line with the over. Chicago Bears and the Packers. I'm going to go with the Packers. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go with the points with the Bears. I'm going to go with the points with the Bears. And I'm going to the under. And if I can find a number a little higher for the under, that will do. But that's what I have. Also, we have Tennessee and the Bills. The Bills have a look-ahead game, but you cannot bet against the Bills at this point. Um, and I have 10 for them. I'm gonna ride that 10. I'm gonna go with the -9.5. Do they have a look-ahead game? Yeah, Buffalo does have a look-ahead game, and the Minnesota Vikings and the Philadelphia Eagles both have look-ahead games. Vikings is going to Philly to play there. Philly has the advantage. Their home field advantage. They got the home field turf. 1-1. We're going to see what actually happens in this game. But again, I do have Philly ranked a little higher, and this is going to actually determine my power rankings. And I do like an over for this game, but since it's outside and you have the crowd noise, I can't really give you an over bet, or I'm not even gonna make an over bet. But these are my opinions for this week. Like, subscribe, share. This is what I have. And again, I'm just sharing my thoughts on what might happen this week. But as you can see, I already posted my bets, what I did like for this week. And hopefully this week is a lot better than the last. But like, subscribe, share. Most importantly, bet wisely. Apologize for all the background noise, but I'll catch you next week.